Okay, let's get to another line of defense of the body in reducing our doctor's bills. In the previous video, we looked at the skin and we said the skin continues inside, goes in the nose, and we're going to look at what it does as it goes inside the nose, as it goes out inside right down into the windpipe, which we call the trachea, and as it goes into the lungs. Now, my focus is going to be on why we should not use cough medicine, because our windpipe, and let's say this is our windpipe, is lined. This is the pipe that comes from the back of your throat, and the nose, the air that comes into the nose will go into this trachea. Now, that air that we inhale, it contains lots and lots of particles that may be allergens, particles that may be good, particles that may be germs for that matter. And we know that during winter time, because we have windows closed, a lot of the germs remain confined in a specific area. Now, the skin that goes inside the trachea has funny cells, right? Not funny in the sense that, but it's got a different shape, and some of them produce a watery fluid, some of them produce thick mucus. Now, the mixture combination of the mucus with the watery fluid gives us the consistency of our mucus that comes out of the nose. We know sometimes it's very thick and viscous, sometimes it's just watery fluids that come out. But when we go out into the trachea, it is mostly just mucus, or the cells that are inside this pipe. They are long cells. They are special cells, cup-like cells, and they produce a lot of mucus. Now, what's the function of the mucus? If we ever inhale something, let's say this is your trachea, the air goes down and it goes down into the windpipe, and eventually it will branch into two at the bottom, and each will go to a lung. Now, whatever is in that air, your body does not want it to get to the lung, so it produces a lot of mucus to trap whatever is there. And once it's trapped, we need to get rid of it. Right? Here's a picture of the inside of this trachea. Show you what the cells look like and how the body gets rid of it. So below your lungs, we have the diaphragm, and the contractions of the diaphragm will push it up into the trachea, push the air from the lungs. Also have to push it out again as it came in. This will now be reversed. The air will be pushed out, and hopefully together with the mucus. And you keep coughing until the irritation is gone. Now, if we take cough medicine, for example, we stop the coughing, and whatever is inside this trachea will now make its way into the lungs. For me, I say it's better to cough and get those things out than to have it settling in the lungs. Now, to reduce the effect of that coughing on your throat, all we do is take a throat lozenge. Take something that is antibacterial also, because most of the time, the reason that our trachea will secrete mucus, extra mucus, is the presence of viruses. And when this virus is present in your trachea, that mucus will be yellowish or orangey. But when the cells have been weakened, or when you have weakened to the extent that the cells become weaker, you have bacteria, now there's enough mucus in there, the bacteria will then start reproducing in the mucus. Remember, a virus is not alive. It will have to get inside the cell before it can do any damage, before it can reproduce, etc. But the bacteria, all they need is a space. All they need is a warm, moist space, and they will reproduce anytime, anyhow. So if there are bacteria in your mucus, the mucus turns a bit darkish yellow to green. And then you must know that is a secondary infection. The virus is with a primary infection. That secondary infection is a little bit more dangerous, because now we have a double infection. We have a lot more germs in our trachea that we don't want to get into the lungs. At all costs, cough that germs out. But we need at all costs to prevent that whatever germs is in the trachea, to prevent it from getting into the lungs. So we keep coughing, and that mucus, we keep pushing the mucus out. And like any wind can dry out something, the air that comes out from the lungs that you get pushed into the through the trachea into the throat, it dries the throat a little bit, and for that it is good to have a lozenge, and even to go sleep with one in your mouth. So if it's antibacterial, it will also help. The presence of that antibacterial liquid will prevent more and more bacteria from reproducing. So at all costs, cough that germs out. Cough out what you have inside the trachea that will cause problems for your lungs. So when we cough and we have cleaned the trachea, it might take a while. Take in enough, again, like we said, vitamin C helps to protect the cells, it prevents the viruses from getting inside the cells, and reproduce. Enough vitamin C in your diet will help, first of all, prevent the coughing, and secondly, it will help to produce the right type of mucus, the right type of consistency of the mucus, so that we can get out the germs much more easily. And if you have the mucus in your throat, in your mouth, if it's in your throat, try to get it into the mouth and spit it in something where you can discard it, because it contains germs. The cold air that we inhale also causes the production of mucus, otherwise the membranes are going to dry out. So when it's cold, your cells will produce a little bit more watery fluid, so the fluid will come out of the nose, for example, and a lot more so that when we inhale the cold air, the body tries to warm it before it gets into the trachea. If that cold air still reaches the trachea, your trachea will produce more mucus, but it's not mucus due to any infective agent. It will just be mucus because of the cold. And then we will cough again. Get rid of the mucus. Don't keep it in the body. If you swallow it, your body will have to just get rid of it again. So keep that diet full of vitamin C. Keep your diet healthy. And also, when we do inhale anything, try and wash. If you've been in an area that was dusty, just try and get up some water in the nose and wash out or rinse the nose and get all the with dust, etc. out, so that it doesn't go in the nose. If you're going to work in a dusty area, put on a mask. So once again, just to reaffirm that our pharmacy starts at our grocery store, at our green grocers where we buy our groceries for every day, and that should prevent you from getting ill. If our cells are strong, if we have enough vitamins and minerals in our body, we're set.